Okay, let's take a look at how we can compose, test, and optimize prompts with Prometheus. We have a new project here, and I already prepared a few things. First thing is a data set with a couple hypothetical support emails that you want to use for testing. And the data set has already set up some affixation, like a prefix and suffix, which the emails will get wrapped into when we use it in a block. And the second thing is I've set up this project variable, brand name, which holds our Prometheus brand name. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna create two prompts here. The first one is a JSON classification of the email with some properties. And the second one is an auto reply draft. We'll demonstrate different features in each of them. So let's get started. We hit new prompt. Call this classification, email classification. And first off, select a model. We have more than 150 available. But for this one, let's get started with 5.6 Terra. We can configure the model properties here. I can set a token limit, some reasoning effort, and enable JSON mode so that we get actual JSON objects as an output. We have a couple tabs here. First is the details, which just holds some basic metadata for the prompt. We can also add some personal notes, for instance, demo prompt. And we have the message, we will use in a second, and variables and evaluators. So let's get started with the system message first. We add a text block and call this role and say you're part of a fully automated classification system for, and this is where we use double curlies to invoke our variable that we defined already. And if we now look at the preview, we see that the variable is replaced with the value that we specified. This comes in handy if we at some point want to change it and not run through the entire prompt and find every instance to replace. Let's give it some background. And here we reuse the variable for the first time. Say, Prometheus develops prompt engineering tools for LLMs. Specifically to products. And here we define local variables because we also want to reuse this later, but we don't want to reuse it across different prompts. We just reuse it within this prompt. So we use again double curlies, and we just type a product variable name, hit enter, cloud platform for free. And as soon as we save this, we get a new variable here, and we can give it a value. You see here the ones that are defined in the project as well. And then if you look at the preview, we see that this one also gets injected. Let's add the second one, which is the playground. Offline playground. Oh, sorry, this is free. This is paid. And instead of like editing it in the variables tab, we can just click on it and directly edit the value here. This also works. Lastly, we want to add some content rules because we will inject user data into the prompt directly. So we want to make sure that the model doesn't interpret any instructions that might be part of it. Let's call this sanitization. And that's it for the system message. So if you look at the preview, we see how everything gets composed nicely together. All the variables get injected. That works well. We see here a total token count. And let's collapse this for now to get some more space for our user message, which we start off with a task. Just gonna copy paste this in here to save some time. Say classify the following support email provided by user. And in order to inject the emails, we use a data block. We just select the support emails here. And what we get is a block that's similar to a text block with all the items that we specified available as options here, or variants. And we have also our affixation already. So if you look at the preview, you can see we have these nice separators to make sure the model knows exactly where the email starts and where it ends. Let's call this email. And then move on with our instructions. Also copy paste those in. Quite simple for now. Just want to generate a JSON object and include all the properties that we specify here on the format. And basically just give it the properties we expect the model to extract, like the intent, summary, whether or not a human is needed, confidence, urgency, and so forth. And lastly, we add an output primer to prevent our model from adding additional output. You just want to have the JSON object directly. Maybe this default. And with that, our first version is ready. You can look at the preview to look at it. It looks great. So let's see if it works. Hit generate to create our first completion. You can say here is like the model output, and we also get some data related to our settings and our prompt. So for instance, we see which model was used, the settings, how long it took to complete, token input output, and the cost. And on top, we see the exact composition of the prompt that generated this output. So we have every single block has an entry here, and below we see the fragment. So for instance, we didn't name those. If we name those, we see that we updated here, just to see what we actually did. Task. Excellent. We can hover here and see the exact content that went into it, including the variables. We can also, if you want to see the full prompt, we click here and we get the exact prompt. This is a frozen version, and we will always be able to reconstruct this even if we change any blocks or variants later on. Perfect. So the last thing we want to do is we want to give this a rating. Because it's not formatted, I give this a bad rating. And what the rating is doing, it will immediately color code all of our variants that were used in this prompt. And then over time, as we keep iterating on the variants and the blocks, we will get some nice visual statistics to see what works well and what doesn't. But let's try to improve this. First of all, let's add product to our format. We can reuse the variables here, specify which products we have or unknown. As soon as we save this, we see that we will get a version 2 here. Because this variant was already executed, so we want to keep track of the history. We can, if you right click on it, we can see the full history and see what changed. And then to fix the problem, here we don't want to edit this variant. We want to create a duplicate because we might want to come back to this later on in case the new one doesn't work well. Name this formatted and then say indent with 2 spaces and re-execute to see if this works better. Perfect. So here we get the formatting correctly, give this a better rating, and we can already see here this becomes green now and this is orange. So we see this variant worked better. Let's try this with a different model. For instance, Claude Sonnet. You see here we have a different model now and already spot a problem. So Claude is wrapping the entire thing in this code block here, which is not great. So we give this a bad rating again. And we iterate on our instructions again. Say formatted and clean. Let's say don't wrap the output in code blocks. Perfect. So now it's gone. This is better. It's a great rating. And we can see here, yeah, these ones have problems. This one is perfect for now. Great. We can also, in order to see like which completions used which version, we can click on this highlight and we only see the completions that use this block. So if you use the other one, you get these ones. We can also, for instance, if you want to omit a block, we can just deactivate it, run it again. And we see here that this one ends in format, so the output primer is not there anymore. Oh, and this also, okay, because we used the wrong version here. The output primer is gone now, so we didn't use it in the preview. We also see it's not part of the prompt anymore. But let's bring it back for now. Okay, this works great. So one thing we usually want to do is we only tested one email for now. And usually once we iterate on a prompt and it works well, we want to test this against all of our emails. We can do this one by one, or we just click here and we say execute for all variants. So this immediately spins up a completion for every single one of our emails. You see here the team account, as well endpoints, the API, and we can go through of them, rate each of them, see what's going on, and also here see which emails are problematic, where we need to put more effort, which ones work great, where we probably don't have to focus so much on. Some things we can do here is like we can collapse those emails to get some more space. We can also archive them if you want to hide them from our output stream. To bring them back, just open the archive and bring them back. We can also change the display mode if you want to have less details, or display the pure text version of the completion without formatting. We can also filter the prompts, for instance, only show us the great ones or the bad ones. And we can search the, let's say, product design we'll only get the ones that contain this keyword. That looks great. So let's iterate a little bit on the format. We'll also create a duplicate, keep this version, and then add 2 more instructions: spam detection and language detection. Maybe use a different model as well. Let's see if we can get away with a cheaper model and see how this fares against our spam test. Excellent, spam detected. The language is English. Perfect. Spam false, language German. So these both are correct. So we see we can get away with a cheaper model. These instructions are good. Here, mostly good. So this looks like a decent prompt already. Obviously, we could refine it more and more. But for now, let's move on to our second prompt to look at evaluators. Create a new one and call this email auto reply. Okay, fast forward. So I already prepared the prompt to save some time here. It's quite similar to the previous one. We have a short system message, a task. We reuse the email data set. We have some instructions, a couple of policies, and an output primer. We switch to Gemini 3.7 Flash because we want to use some web search options here to use our documentation to reply to emails. So let's see what it's doing. We say we want to create a response that conveys our sincere intention to help, and we want to solve the problem. We want to print a response only, keep it short, use the docs, and we want to follow these policies no matter what. Be polite, don't use M dashes, always reply in the original language, and we don't want to reply to spam emails, so we just want to print spam if spam comes in. Let's just run this for all of our emails and see what we get. Nice, spam is already coming in. That worked. Your German one, original language, nice. These ones coming in English. Okay, perfect. Just give them some rating. Perfect. Whatever. Okay. Now let's look at how we can use evaluators to automatically evaluate the replies. For that, we're going to define a couple. Let's start with no M dashes. So this is going to be a text evaluator. You're going to say it should not contain an M dash. Case doesn't matter. Great. That's it. Next one. Let's say keep it short, but not too short. For this one, we change the type to length. And we just want to make sure that the length of the reply is between 40 and 200 words. It should be a good size for an email like this. And lastly, we want to say, wish a great day. And the reply should always contain, have a great day. Okay, so let's go back and execute our emails again and see what happens now. You can see here now we have like these evaluators running in the background, and as soon as the completion is ready, they will execute and generate a status. And since here we failed 2 of them, because it's a special case, but we succeeded in not printing M dashes. This one failed in wishing a great day. This one as well. But the other ones seem to already work well. So let's fix this. We add a new duplicate here, v2, and we say use have a great day in the sign off. Let's see what that does. Let's run it again for all of them. Perfect. So this one completed all of them. Same. Okay, the spam, special case. Here it failed as well because that's the previous one. Okay, let's deal with the spam one maybe. Let's try to evaluate this one. And here we say equals. We make it case sensitive and say the output should be spam. For now, we can deactivate these ones to not run them for now. And then we select our spam email, run it, and see it works. Okay, we print spam, nothing else, that's great. And if you do another one, the evaluator fails because now we don't print exactly spam. And this is how you can basically define up to 6 evaluators per prompt to make it more easy to evaluate the completions. One last thing to take a look at is the dashboard. So as soon as we have been executing our prompts a couple of times, we can see over a 30-day time frame how many tokens we generated each day, how much we spent each day, which models we use the most, and which platforms we use. Get a total spending number, and also for the input-output tokens. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoy. Happy prompting. See you later.